everyone. Good morning, and thank you for coming back so quickly from the break. My name is Smiti. I'm the founder of Advantage Club, which is a global rewards recognition, employee engagement, and community building platform. Today, I'm going to talk about employee experience and what, according to us, are the key pillars to driving a world-class experience for all organizations. So, let's first talk about the definition of employee experience. What is it all about? Primarily, experience has been used as a generalized term all over our lives. You know, whenever we've been talking about employee engagement or rewards or any form of strategies to retain and engage employees better, we speak about the word experience. Experience primarily comprises of the following four things. First is celebrating different moments which happen in an employee's life cycle, right from the day they join the organization to the day they exit the organization. There are different moments which happen in their life cycles. Celebrating every single moment adds to their experience. Reward and care, of course, is a very, very strong pillar comprising of experience, where when I do something good, I get rewarded for it. I feel that I'm working for a great organization and my efforts are being appreciated. It also adds to a sense of care from the organization side to the employee, saying that, okay, my company really cares about me, cares about my family, cares about my peers and my folks. Simplifying and celebrating employee life cycle processes, not only celebrating but also doing it in a simple manner where people are clear on what I'm supposed to do to achieve targets, to achieve numbers, and what kind of benefits will I get once I achieve those. And lastly, inclusion. We all talk about diversity, ensuring that employees are part of one organization. We are all one company, and we feel that in spite of our different backgrounds or wherever we come from, we all feel included as part of one company. So the impact of a successful employee experience is that you drive higher employee engagement, higher productivity, higher performance, and higher retention. And these are all well-known research reports done by different companies like Gallup, Deloitte, Hay Group, and many more, which overall justify those. You also ensure that your employer brand increases. You have an increase in sales growth on every percentage of increase in employee engagement. At Advantage Club, what we've observed is very synonymous to most of these research studies, and what we've seen across all of our organizations where we are running, for most of them, the difference between attrition of engaged employees on the platform versus non-engaged employees is as high as 45%. Which means that if I have gotten rewarded, or I have gotten recognized, or a peer has recognized me in my company, my chances of leaving the organization are 45% lesser. And it's arguable that obviously I'm getting rewarded, that means I'm a good performer, so naturally I will attract lesser, but that's not true. The same cohorts have been seen for employees who are not only getting monetary rewards, but also peer-to-peer appreciation. And when you increase those numbers to, say, an employee getting both monetary and non-monetary rewards, the numbers in our case go as high as 75%. And the same thing goes for flex benefits as well. Flex benefits is something which everybody gets, irrespective of performance. Even there, similar numbers are being observed as per our studies. So, what is Advantage Club's approach towards employee experience? And today I'm going to talk about what are the things we've focused on as a company overall to drive better engagement among all our corporates. We approach engagement in 5 ways. The first is onboarding. Onboarding primarily is the day an employee joins or accepts the offer letter in a company till, say, 30, 60, 90 days of their joining. That is one entire area where you can drive better engagement. Second is flexible engagement, where typically I utilize the power of the community and I try to engage and connect with my peers better. Third is rewards and recognition, which I'm going to talk about today. Fourth is wellness, which has incredibly become really, really important post-COVID, and the last is flexible benefit modules. So I'm going to talk about these 5 modules today and how organizations can drive better programs, drive better methodologies to actually become better at these 5 employee experience programs. So let's first talk about employee onboarding. Now, why does engaging an employee during onboarding matter? Because onboarding is the time when an employee has the first look of the company they're about to join. So right from the day I get the offer letter, to the day I join, to the day I get trained, it is all part of an onboarding experience for an employee. And the areas where we have to ensure that their experience is becoming better are things like your first impression. Second, is my job or is my organization letting me understand how I can align better with the values of the company? Do I really connect with them? Third is, how quick or how fast is my company in helping me on board? How proficient am I in terms of utilizing my time when I join somewhere? In most organizations, and I've seen this in a lot of large companies as well, when people join, the first 1 week, they're absolutely clueless what they're supposed to do. The first 1 month, they're not given enough challenges to work on. And that, monotony sets in eventually, and the first 1 month of an employee joining is the time when they're the most excited, when you can create the most impact. But that time not utilized properly can be really devastating from the growth of or thought process of an employee engagement perspective. Making connections. When I join a company, it's as simple as maybe a kid joining a new school, right? So you don't know anybody. Most of the people around you are strangers. Is my organization or my peer or my colleagues or my managers, are they helping me make those genuine connections with my team members? How is the retention of my company? So typically, of course, my retention kind of sort of depends on the herd mentality of people in the organization as well. If everybody is leaving, if everybody is talking about finding new jobs or finding another organization, I will also start thinking in that direction. What is the clarity in terms of what I'm supposed to achieve when I join? And that is similar to what I spoke about in terms of time proficiency. And lastly, how can I or am I a brand ambassador to the organization? Brand ambassadorship also relates to company branding, where if your company branding is strong, I will automatically feel that I belong to your organization because typically everybody around me is acting as a semi-brand ambassador to it. Typically, in terms of organized onboarding, if you're able to crack it right, it will not only, overall ensure that you have a greater new hire retention, it will also ensure that your year's annual revenue increases as high as 60%. Second is flexible engagement. Now, flexible engagement is primarily around community building. Like I mentioned earlier, an employee's organization is typically a set of, say, hundreds of thousands of people who are part of the same family, who all think together, who all work together towards a common goal. It is really extremely important to foster those connections and ensure that people feel that they connect with each other, which thereby adds to their belongingness. So just to give you an example, me and my co-founder Saurabh both were working at Microsoft earlier. When we decided to leave Microsoft to start Advantage Club, the biggest peeve which Saurabh had for leaving Microsoft was not that he was leaving the company. He was part of a Microsoft-only poker group, where twice every week, Microsoft people used to hang out after office and play like a home game of poker. He was most upset about not being included in that group anymore because he was leaving the company. That's the power of community, because then you're not just leaving a job, you're leaving an entire group of friends you've made who you will not have access to because you are not part of that organization. So it's really important to ensure that we are focusing on groups, on people cultivating their hobbies, on people creating support groups with each other. Imagine if you have a support group for new mothers or new parents in the organization, the kind of impact it will create in building a community. It's also important to drive different types of celebrations, expressions, everything right from birthday, anniversary, long service, to even things like birth of a child or somebody getting married or somebody getting promoted. Typically, driving those kind of different initiatives on a regular basis also makes people connect with each other and thereby drives higher retention. Third is rewards and recognition, and I've kind of put 3 slides on this here. First, I'm going to talk about the attributes, and this is a very common question, that how do you define rewards? Like, what are the various pillars of rewards? And I've divided it in 5 parts. First is aspirational, where the best and the best of the people get rewarded, something like a CEO reward or something going above and beyond or an extra miler. Second is a motivational award. Motivational award is typically something which you get basis your performance. You do a good job, you get rewarded. Motivational rewards work like a cookie model. When 80% of an organization gets a cookie, the remaining 20% automatically gets incentivized to also get that cookie. So you're not doing negative influencing, right? You're not telling those 20% that, hey, you've all done a bad job. You're telling the rest of the 80% that you've done a great job, and that automatically incentivizes the rest of the 20% to also be part of those 80%. Intentional rewards are where you award people who are the best in their drive. Say something like innovation awards, for example. Cultural awards are typically linked to your cultural values. So if you want people to get recognized on the basis of achieving or following your core organizational values, that is where cultural awards come in play. It has primarily nothing to do with performance. It is simply that you are such an intrinsic part of the organization that you're following those values. And situational awards are, of course, most of the organizations do those in terms of contests, or you put a problem in front of people and whoever solves those problems better, they get rewarded. So typically, all of these are the 5 attributes in which you can divide rewards. Types of rewards are of 4 types. The typical first type is your day-to-day reward. Like I spoke about birthdays, anniversaries. You get those rewards because it is a specific day. Formal rewards are more formal in nature, where we all create those budgets, we assign budgets to managers, or there's an administrative budget, and then managers give those awards to employees. Very structured, very organized in nature, and typically links with your cultural values, with your KRAs and key objectives of the organization. Informal rewards is where you can actually enable peer-to-peer appreciation, where people can, give those thank yous or good jobs or well done to each other, which is not monetary in nature, doesn't cost the organization anything, but it really drives additional appreciation and retention for people. Fourth is approval-based, where you don't want to necessarily give the entire autonomy to a manager for certain awards, but you enable them to nominate, and then there is an approval hierarchy, say a jury system or a voting or any sort of seniors who eventually approve those awards. Typically, driving the right employee recognition programs create a 34% additional increase in retention, increase in engagement, teamwork, and satisfaction. So from a rewards and recognition perspective, there are primarily the following benefits which you get if you're running a good rewards program. One, you enable employees to get a sense of purpose, because when you understand what you're supposed to do to go further in your career, in your life, it really gives you a sense of purpose, and that makes you stick around in a company and move forward. It also is a very powerful motivator, obviously. It drives a higher employee-employer relationship, and not only that, it drives higher manager-employee relationships. Most people leave their managers, not their organizations. So if you have a good reward system which is running efficiently, it drives a high relationship with the way you feel about your organization. It reduces talent loss, and it makes employees perform their best. And of course, it really drives your employer branding. You think about the best and the best of the organizations in your mind who you feel are the best employer brands. I can say for guarantee that they will have one of the best reward systems on the planet. So it directly links to your branding as well, because the more you motivate people, the better they work, and the better they work, the higher your sales go up, and the higher sales go up, your branding goes up as well. Next, I'm going to talk about wellness, and I've put a slide dedicated to that. Wellness has completely changed in terms of spectrum from 2020 era onwards. What has changed is, most of us never used to take all these health checkups seriously before that. Now, a lot of us do that annually. All of us have seen so much of death, so much of destruction, so much of psychological pain when everyone was sitting at home or, getting frustrated being in lockdown, that we started realizing that wellness and health matters. And if it matters for everybody, obviously it starts mattering for the organizational goals as well. So in terms of wellness, the way we approach wellness as a program is primarily around, one, providing very good well-being benefits. Well-being benefits could be, say, instead of giving, say, a gym membership, you are giving an overall bouquet of services to employees they can pick and choose from. Something like fitness and wellness encouragement among employees, which is again very common, where you can run things like, say, step challenges or walkathons and all of those things, which primarily drives general fitness via gamification to organizations. Counseling and mental wellness has become so important. We've seen organizations start focusing on that today. Family support, the reason I talk about family support is, if as an organization you not only take care of your employees, but also take care of their families, that is a very high retention driver as well. Because if you're taking care of their employees, their employee families, their families will ensure that you stick around in that job, because you don't want to risk what is going to be the unknown in the next job. And we all talk about physical fitness, physical wellness, but I think mental and financial wellness has also become really important today. The millennials of today, people who are Gen Zs, they live paycheck to paycheck. They'd be earning 50,000 a month, they'd be spending 60,000 on a, say, cell phone or something like that. So there is no sense of saving, there is no sense of understanding how do I manage my finances, and hence financial wellness is something which organizations have started focusing on today as well. Next is around FlexiBen. Now, flexible benefits is essentially giving a gamut of options to employees where it's their choice and they choose what they want to really utilize. But at the same time, it's not the entire world of options. So typically, and we were having a roundtable yesterday where we spoke about how you can generalize, but you still have to standardize. If you're having an organization of thousands and thousands of employees, it is not possible to personalize to every employee. But it is also possible to create a general gamut of services which people can pick and choose from in a particular category, say a wellness category or a work from home enablement category, or say something like creches or daycare benefits. So flexible benefits is really great in a way that you are giving an option to an employee to pick and choose. So all in all, to summarize, to drive a world-class experience, we need to, of course, personalize. We need to hyper-personalize as much as we can. We need to ensure that we have a good, comprehensive rewards program aligning with values. We need to also create a structured onboarding process, and of course, a very good offboarding process as well. And we need to prioritize wellness by offering total well-being programs to employees in the workplace. Typically, in terms of a fulfilling employee experience, I would divide the key elements in the following 6 parts: culture and values, leadership and management involvement, which is really, really important. The organization follows the way the leadership and the management behaves. An inclusive work environment, ensuring that there are enough career growth opportunities for people, because if they feel they're not growing in an organization, they will start looking elsewhere. Communication and transparency. We can create all the programs we want to. If we don't communicate, if people are not aware of those programs, people will not use it. So there's no point spending all of that money and all that budget on all of these things. And lastly, ensuring that there's a good work-life balance. There is good flexibility in terms of utilizing the benefits, in terms of people feeling that, okay, they are being appreciated for being at work, and they have the flexibility to work the way they want to. In terms of designing the entire journey, it's really, really simple. Like, how do you really do it? One, you need to define your employee journey stages. What exactly is the journey of a life cycle or a life cycle of an employee in your organization, right from the day they join till the day they leave? Second, you need to ensure that you map those employee touch points, whether it's different moments, whether it's different types of strategies in terms of rewards which you're driving. You need to understand employee needs, expectations, take surveys, take feedbacks, understand what your employees want. Create consistency and alignment in terms of driving those benefits as well, so that people are actually utilizing it, people are actually getting awarded, managers are awarding in the right way. Support work-life balance, and of course, if an employee leaves, also ensure a good exit for them so that they become brand ambassadors of your company forever, wherever they go. So that's pretty much it in terms of the whole elements of employee experience. And I'm just going to round up by saying that a well-rounded employee experience really creates a future-ready work culture. Thank you so much. My name is Smiti, and I'm the founder of Advantage Club. I'll be here on the booth of Advantage Club, so if you have any questions, happy to connect and discuss any sort of engagement programs with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Smiti. What we're going to do next is we're going to unveil an e-book, which is a culmination of extensive research, as you know, by People Matters and the Advantage Club. In it, you'll find insights that are going to help you improve the way employees experience their work and also make their workplace a better one for everyone. I'd like to invite Pushkaraj, CBO, People Matters launch the People Matters and Advantage Club ebook titled Conquering the Era of X, Reimagining Rewards, Recognition, and Flexible Benefits. Yeah. All right, so here he is. Guys, why don't you go center stage? Let's capture this moment. Everyone, can we have a round of applause for this very, very insightful ebook?
Done. Okay, so the inception of the book came from the ideology that, as Advantage Club, we keep working with a lot of clients, and we keep getting a lot of very common questions which are asked from most companies in terms of how do we drive a better employee experience. And we were having a chat with People Matters team, and we said that why not create something together and launch it out. So this is our first book in a 2-book series for driving employee engagement. Primarily, we also have a lot of case studies here which we've taken from HR heads across India, Southeast Asia. I hope you guys will like it. There should be a copy on every table. If you haven't got a copy, then please come over to the Advantage Club booth and grab yours. I hope you like the insights, and this is really helpful to everyone. Thank you.